Hello, it's maths time now. We're going to start something new this week. See if you can guess what we're going to learn about. Watch this. Are you ready? We are going to learn about Did you say karate? No, not karate. Halving. I can't believe someone said karate. It was obvious, it's halving. Half of something. A bit like this apple. One whole apple. Hi-ya! And two halves. One for me, one for my brother, maybe. There are some things you can't chop in half. Do you remember the red word where there's me fighting with my brother, saying, my teddy, my teddy? It wouldn't work if we got the scissors and cut the teddy bear in half. It wouldn't be very much fun for either of us. Things like a football. If my daddy chopped our football in half, it wouldn't be very much fun for me and my brother to play with half a deflated football. However, things like food you can share. Things like an apple, if it's chopped in half, half for me, half for my brother. Real life halves. I can see half of the moon, half of an avocado, a lemon in halves, a kiwi in two halves, a toasty cut in half, half of an orange, half of a pear, half of a pizza, a strawberry cut in half, half of a chocolate bar, half of an onion, and this is me when I was allowed half of a cake at tea time. When I was a bit little, I used to be quite sneaky, but so did my brother. If my mummy gave us a chocolate bar, a bit like this, and she might say to me, there's one chocolate bar, I think nobody should have it if I give it to you. Your brother will cry. If I give it to your brother, you will cry. And then we said we could share because we really both wanted some chocolate. So my mummy gave it to me and she said, right, break it in half, please. So I used to do this. Bit for me, bit for my brother, and he would cry. The next time, my brother would say, I'll break it in half, I'll break it in half. There's our chocolate, and he used to say, okay. There's a piece for you, Mrs. Stone. And then he'd take this bit. Yes, it was broken. Yes, there were two pieces, but is that very fair? No, then it's not fair because they weren't equal. We didn't have the same amount. So now, usually, Mummy breaks it, and she might break it in half. Can you see that they are the same size? Is that fair? Is that fair for me and fair for my brother? Would that stop us arguing? I think so. So when you break things in half or you cut them in half, you have to make sure it's equal and that it's fair. Can you do me a favour today? In your packs, you have a sheet like this. That's some of my favourite things to eat. Could you break them in half for me and my brother? Can I show you how? If you look a little bit closer, can you see the red dots? Can you see the red dots on top of the ice cream and right at the bottom of the cone? And the same on the pizza and the same on the chocolate. We're going to use a ruler. You've got one in your packs. They can be quite tricky because they move. Have a look. Okay, so there's our food. So you've got to cut it in half for me and my brother, but it must be fair, it must be equal. So what you do is you have a look at the top of the ice cream, for example, and you put your ruler anywhere. It doesn't matter about the numbers, it doesn't matter which way round, because the reason we're using a ruler isn't to measure, it's just to draw a neat line. So you put your ruler, so it's touching your red dot there, and then this side of the ruler has to move around and touch the bottom dot. Now sometimes when I'm using my ruler, if I then go to use the bottom dot and line that up, oh, now the top bit's moved. So then I line up the top bit so that the ruler touches the top bit. Oh, now it's moved here. So sometimes you have to try and move them together to line them up. And once you've got it, keep this hand on the ruler. If you can, it might be a good idea to slide it down halfway to keep it really still. Because sometimes if you're here and you go to get your pen and you knock your ruler, it moves completely. So line it up together, top and bottom, and then use your hand to hold the ruler in place. If your hands aren't quite big enough, maybe your brother or sister or your parents can hold it for you. And then with your pen, keep this hand pushed down really hard. Slowly draw your line. Go back and forth. And can you see, it's as if my pen were a knife that's chopped the food in half for me and my brother. Let's try the sweetie now. So line up the top dot. Oh, need to line up the bottom one. Oh, now I need to line up the top. And let's do this together really slowly. Very slowly. And push that hand down. And hiya! Hiya! Can you see? Me and my brother haven't got one bit bigger than the other one. It's equal and it's fair. So use your ruler to chop up your chocolate and your pickle and your pizzas, and then you could cut them round and cut the line up, and it could be half for me and half for my brother, or half for you and half for someone in your family. So today you may have done it already, but you've got Little Red Riding Hood counting to 20 and record the total. Try and get those numbers the right way round. Slow down and mark them off as you count. Then you've got to halve the food for me and my brother. Remember, it must be equal, it must be fair. Don't make me cry. Don't make my brother cry. If he cries, then my mummy will know that you've given me more food than him and I'll be in trouble. So it must be equal, it must be fair. Good luck with that, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.